So to start this off, we're going to grab our category 4 yarn, make a slip knot, grab our 5mm hook, and we're going to make a chain that goes from our underarm down to where we want the bottom of the crop top to be, keeping in mind that we will have a bottom border. So mine is going to be about 4.5 inches. Once we have our chain, we're going to block off that last chain, chain up one, and from here we're going to put a single crochet into that chain that we blocked off, or the second chain from the hook. And then we're going to do one single crochet going into every loop, going back down our chain. Once we single crochet down our chain, we're going to chain up one, flip our work, and we're going to do a row of slip stitches into the back loops only. So slip stitches into the back loops only is inserting your hook into the back loop. We're going to yarn over and just pull through both loops on the hook. So it's kind of like a baby single crochet. Let's do that again, into the back loop, yarn over, pull through both. And then we're going to keep doing this once into every back loop, all the way until we get to the end, and we're going to do an increase of 2 at the very last loop. So we have one loop left. We're going to insert our hook into that last loop, put one slip stitch, and then put another slip stitch. So we just increase, we just put 2 into that last one, and from here we're going to chain up one, flip our work, and then put 2 slip stitches into the second loop from the hook, because we're only going to be increasing on one side. So here's 1, and here is 2, and then slip stitch into the back loops only, going all the way down. Once we get to the end, chain up one, and then work our way back with slip stitches into the back loops only. And my only tip will be, make sure that you don't leave out this last loop because it can look like it's hidden. So just make sure that you have all of them, and then I'm just going to keep doing this until I have this little increased chunk that equals out to 1 inch. But for whatever measurement that you have, you're going to want to make sure that you end on the increased side, because from there we're going to make a chain to make the rest of the body. So once we have that inch, what you're going to want to do is put this up to yourself and then measure where the tip of your shoulder is going to be. And we're only going up to the tip of the shoulder. It's not actually going to stay up there. It's just because the work shrinks. We're just going to make it a little bit longer than necessary. So we're going to measure all the way up. And once we have that measurement, we're just going to make that chain. And keeping in mind that we are in the increase side. So I already went ahead and measured mine out, and mine is 5 inches. So I'm going to make a chain of 5 inches. Once when I have my 5-inch chain, I'm going to block off my last chain, chain up one, and then put one single crochet into every loop that we have, going back down our chain. And then once we get down here, we're going to start doing slip stitches in the back loops only again, but I'll show you how to do that once when we get there. So we put one single crochet back down our chain, and once we get to this body portion, is what we're going to call it really quick, what we're going to do is just go back into doing slip stitches into the back loops only all the way down. And then once we get down to the bottom, we're going to chain up one, and then we're going to do more rows of slip stitching into the back loops only. And then we're going to keep doing that until we have something that looks like this. This is the entirety of the front part. And this blunt part, we're not going to be doing increases or decreases. This is 6.5 inches for me. And then we will also do another one of these little guys that go underneath our arms on the other side as well. But keep in mind, you are going to want to put this up to yourself every now and then just to make sure that you are doing it correctly. And when you do put it up to yourself, make sure that you stretch it out, because it will stretch. But once we have that little chunk done, we will meet you back, and then I'll show you how to do this last guy. So we just finished the blunt body portion, and now we need to do the underarm portion on the other side. We're going to count out how many slip stitches we have on the increase side before we made the chain, and make the same amount of slip stitches on the other side minus 2 loops, because we're going to do a decrease. So we're going to chain up one, flip our work, and slip stitch into all the back loops, as many loops as we need, minus 2. So we've slip stitched into every loop minus the 2 loops that we left out, because we're going to do a decrease. And so how we do a decrease, we're still going to be going into the back loops. We're going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, into the next loop, yarn over, pull through, and then from here we're going to pull through the last 2 loops. And that is a slip stitch decrease. And for the next row, we're going to chain up one, flip our work, and then we're going to do another back loop decrease of slip stitches. So we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through everything on the hook. And then that is our decrease. And then we're going to continue doing slip stitches in the back loops only. Once we make it to the end, chain up one, flip our work, and then we're going to make sure that it's the same size as the one on the other side. And we're going to leave the last loop because that one's just going to be a row of single crochet, no fancy slip stitches, but just single crochet because on the other side it was a single crochet. Alrighty, so we're about to do our last row of this underarm portion, and like I said, this is just going to be a row of single crochet because that's what we have on the other side. So what we're going to do is chain up 1, flip our work, and then we're going to do a row of single crochet in the back loops only, once into every loop. Once when you get to the end, go ahead and cut and tie. So we just got done doing both sides of the underarm portion, and now I need to do the neck. So what we're going to do is grab our yarn, make a slip knot, insert our hook into one of the corners, grab our yarn, insert that onto the hook. We're going to pull that through, chain up 1. And then from here we're just going to do a row of single crochet, but we don't have any real loops to go into, so we're just going to have to kind of figure it out. Once we single crocheted all the way to the end, now we're going to work on some little chunks that hangs up over your shoulder. And all that's going to be is chaining up 3, this counts as a double crochet, flipping our work, and all I'm going to be doing is double crocheting in once into every loop for about an inch. Then once when we get to the end of that inch, we're actually going to chain up another 3, flip our work, and then we're going to do this again, so double crochet once into every loop. We're just going to extend this a little bit, and then once we finish this row, we're going to chain up another 3 and do this one more time. And once we have this, we're going to do this to the other side. So once when we've finished doing both of the little shoulder chunkies, now we're going to start working on the bottom border. And I'm going to grab my white yarn, and I'm using white to kind of make it look like clouds. So from here, we're going to insert our hook into the bottom. We're going to pull our yarn through. We're going to chain up 3. This counts as a double crochet. And then this is going to be the same as the other side where there's no real loops for us to go into. But we're just going to have to figure it out. So go ahead and prepare for a double crochet. Insert your hook into the first loop and put a row of double crochet. So now that we're done with our first row of double crochet, now we're going to do our rows of front and back post double crochets. But they're not going to be alternated front and back. Every other one, they're going to be a little bit fluffier looking, I think. So we're going to chain up 3, flip our work, prepare for a double crochet, and then we're going to go in behind the front post of this first double crochet and double crochet. And this is a front post double crochet. And we're actually going to be doing 2 more of these, so we're going to have 3 in total. And that is our first fluff of front post double crochets. Next, we're going to do 3 back post double crochets. So insert your hook into the back, yarn over, pull through. We're going to do that 2 more times. And then we're going to keep alternating between front and back post double crochets into every 3, and then I'll meet you back once when we have that done. And this is what it should look like. Now in my brain, this does kind of look like a cloud, but if it doesn't, then my sincerest apologies. So our first row of front and back post double crochets are all done, and we're going to do 1 more just to make it a little bit more defined. So to start off the next row, we're going to chain up 3, flip our work, and then whatever post we did in the previous row, we're just going to keep doing the same thing. So as you can see, these are front post, these are front post double crochets. So we're going to continue doing front post double crochets just to keep it all symmetrical. And then we're just going to continue doing that for the rest of the row. So now that we're done with the bottom row, next we're going to do a border around the entirety of the top. So once when we get to the corners, we're actually going to do a decrease, and I'll show you guys how to do that. So we just made it to our first underarm portion, and what we're going to do into this corner, we're just going to do a really quick increase of 3 just so that our corners can turn. And from here, as you can see, there's no real loop, so go ahead and just put in 1 single crochet. And then from here, like I said, we're just going to do a really quick decrease. So we're just going to insert our hook into a loop that we have where this underarm is, yarn over, pull through, and then we're going to go into the first loop that we have over here that is available with another decrease, yarn over, pull through. We're just going to yarn over, pull through all 3, and then that is our decrease. And we're actually going to be doing that for each corner, but once we have that, go ahead and cut and tie. And once we get to the end, now we're going to start working on the side ties. So from here, we already have one chain, so we're going to chain up another 2. This counts as a double crochet. We're going to flip our work, and then we're going to be doing rows of shells. And I know that I've done shells a bunch on the channel, but these are going to be done with half double crochets instead of double crochets. That's the only difference. So we're going to prepare for a double crochet. We're going to count out 3, 1, 2, 3, insert our hook into that third. We're going to yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3, and that is our first half double crochet. We're going to do another one into the same loop, and from here chain 2 and put 2 more half double crochets into this loop, and that is our first shell and also counts as a loop for our side ties. So from here we're going to prepare for another double crochet, count out 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, insert our hook into the 4th, into another shell, so 2 half double crochets, chain 2, 2 half double crochets, and we're going to keep doing this until we get to the other tip of the underarm section. And once we've made it to the very last one, we're going to prepare for a double crochet, and then we're just going to figure out which one is our last loop right here, and then just do a double crochet. And from here, chain up 1 and cut, and then we're going to be doing this on the other side as well. So we just got done doing both of the little side tie portions, and lucky us, we get to do this entire sequence one more time. So we are all done doing our 2 matching sides, kind of matching because, you know, colors are a little different. But now we're just going to lay them on top of each other, and we're going to connect it. And we're only going to be connecting it by these little top guys right here. So I'm going to take my white yarn, make a slip knot. We're going to insert our hook into this corner, and then insert our hook into the same corner but on the other piece. Insert our hook, and we're just going to pull through both loops, chain up 1 to secure. And from here we're just going to insert our hook into 1 loop in the first side, same loop on the second side, and then single crochet. And then we're going to do that until we get to this corner. We're going to cut and tie, and then do the same thing on this side. So we just connected the front and the back together, and I've tried this on, and this is actually really cute as is, so you can leave it if you want, but I still will be adding the turtleneck because I love turtlenecks. So from here, if you're going to do it with me, you're going to insert our hook in through any one of these loops. Probably pick a corner one. Then from here, we're going to grab our yarn, insert it onto our hook, and then I'm going to want to be able to fold my turtleneck over, so I'm going to go ahead and make a chain of 9 inches. Now once when I have my 9 inches, I'm going to go ahead and block off the last chain up 3. This counts as a double crochet, prepare for a double crochet, and double crochet once into that loop that we blocked off, or the 4th loop from the hook. And then I'm going to go ahead and put 1 double crochet into every loop that we have, going all the way down our chain. So once when I've double crocheted all the way down our chain, we're now going to connect it to the base of the neck. So we're going to take a look at it, and then we're going to count out 2 loops. So we're in this loop right here. So we're going to count 1, 2. We're going to insert our hook into that second loop with a slip stitch. And then in order to start up our next row, we're going to go to the next loop, do 1 slip stitch, 2 slip stitch, and then from here we can flip our work and start working on our next row. So to start off our next row, we're going to be working into the back loops only for the remainder of the neck portion. So we're going to prepare for a double crochet and go into the back loops only with a regular double crochet. And then from here, we're going to put 1 double crochet into every back loop going all the way down. Once we reach the end, we're going to chain up 3, flip our work, and then work our way back down. Why do you need a motorcycle that loud? Okay, and then so we're going to double crochet our way back down, making sure we're in the back loops only again. Once we get to the base, we're going to connect with a slip stitch into the second loop, and then slip stitch into the next 2 loops, and then work our way back. And that is going to be the remainder of this neck piece. And I'll meet you back once we have that done. So this is our turtleneck. We're actually almost done with it. If we take a look, I have 1 more loop left instead of the 2 loops that we typically do. And if yours ends up like mine, we're just going to do a row of single crochet just so we can close this off nicely, just so that it's not too tight around here. So from here, we're going to chain up 1. We're still going to be working into the back loops, but we're just going to be doing single crochet. So single crochet into the back loops if you need, and go all the way down and then connect into our last loop with a slip stitch, and then I'll show you guys how to connect everything together. So we've just done our last row and we connected it with a slip stitch. My last row was a single crochet, but if yours was a double crochet, it's all the same. And now we're just going to connect it. My first tip that I'm going to say when we connect it, just make sure that all of our seams are on the same side. You guys already know this, but sometimes I forget, so I just wanted to give you guys a really quick reminder. But from here, since we're slip stitched into the base of the neck, we're just going to insert our hook in through one side of the neck, and in through the same loop but on the other side of the neck, and do a single crochet to secure them together. Let's do it one more time. So insert your hook in through one loop, insert your hook in through the next loop on the other side of the neck, and single crochet together. And we're going to single crochet like this all the way down. Once we get to the end, go ahead and cut and tie. So once we've connected our entire turtleneck portion together, now we're just going to do a border of white, because as you guys can see, I want there to be a border of white everywhere. So from here, we're just going to insert our hook into any one of these side double crochets, doesn't matter which one. I'm going to grab my border color. I'm going to chain up 1 to secure. And then since these are all side double crochets, all we're going to do is put 2 single crochets into each of these side double crochets. And once we get all the way around, connect with a slip stitch. Go ahead and cut and tie. Once we have our border, what we're going to want to do is flip everything inside out so that the seams are on the inside. And this is what we should have. And then the next thing that we're going to do is make a chain for the side ties. And I'm just going to make a chain of roughly 50 inches. And I'm going to make 2 of them so that they can, weave in through all these little holes that we got. And then once we have our straps, the last thing that we have to do is weave in our ends. This is our finished turtleneck crop top with a side tie. You have no idea how excited I am for this top. This yarn is seriously the cutest, and I think it's perfect for festivals and concerts. If I went to those. But if you want to wear them to your next festival, you can definitely check out my Posh Depopper Etsy. Those will be linked in the description, and you can grab it if you don't have time to make it. But if you like this piece or any other piece on the channel, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It lets YouTube and I know you're enjoying the videos, and it goes a long way to helping the channel grow. But if you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down, but leave me a comment letting me know why you didn't like it. Or if you have a question, want to leave a request, or just want to say hi, you can leave those in the comments too. I usually reply pretty quick. If you love it, do me a gigantic favor and hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, it's right beneath the video. It'll let you know when a new video is uploaded to the channel, get you a bit more priority for requests, and it goes a long way to helping the channel grow so I can keep making great videos for you guys. If you're already subscribed, huge thank you to you guys, but go ahead and please hit that notification bell to know when there's a new upload to the channel right away. And please, 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 please share with your crafty friends. Every bit helps. Links to the yarn and the hooks will be in the description. If you guys buy something for those links, that also helps out the channel. And lastly, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest are down there too. And thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see y'all in the next one.